Yeah, kind of weird. You got to push it twice though. You got to push go live and then confirm go live. Same thing with exiting though. I think.
Yeah. Cool. 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 Well, I'm not sure. All right, how's it going?
Good.
So, flapping lips, can you hear me?
I can. You sound nice, loud, clear.
All right, and so do you. Hopefully, this is broadcasting out to the YouTube channels. I know it's working on our little StreamYard thing, but
Yeah, it's on both YouTubes. I've got those pulled
all
up
right.
each one.
Awesome, awesome. Well, man, it's been a long month.
It has.
Here we are. I think we did maybe one show earlier this month. It's been a long one though. How have you been? How are things going over there? How's the winter treating you so far?
Yeah, so far it's not been too bad. We're at 50 today, but it's the last couple of days. We're supposed to see 40 tomorrow and then 20s and 30s there on out. So
Okay.
this is the last
Yeah.
pretty one of the week.
Yeah.
We're actually in winter
Yeah,
from
that
here on
20s
out.
and 30s. 20s and 30s seems pretty cool to me.
It's
I don't know
pretty
what the
nippy.
temperature is here. It's about 57 right now. That's not working, so that doesn't tell me, but it says it's 57. Hello, Simon. How are you doing, buddy? Simon, what I'm going to try to do, and Simon's a really good driver. I'm going to try to get this techno back together, and hopefully it'll run. I went out to the track that they call The Dirt out in Paris a couple weeks ago, and I'm going again this weekend. So I'm just going to start tinkering with this while you guys are anybody out there watching, say hi. But me and these old flapping lips will just be chilling. I'm not sure if you have any projects you want to work on this evening, or you just want to just
Not a
hang out
lot.
for a bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably just hang out. Just because I've got a little bit of stuff I could do, but the next stuff I'm probably going to end up doing is going to be, throwing metal axles housings on my Rift. That's going to be a good couple hours worth of work. So,
okay, yeah.
I've been tiddling a little bit here and there with my H10 Origin build, trying to get it done. How you doing, Randy?
Hello, Randy.
Got
Randy,
my license
working
plate in
man's
today.
Awesome.
So I
What
put
was that you
those
got
on.
in?
License plate. I found a place on Amazon, a Chinese seller. There's a place here in the States, RC Plate Shop. They make actual metal plates. But I went ahead and found one on Amazon. They had plastic plates. So I went ahead and ordered a couple of them a couple weeks ago, and they got here today.
That's cool. I guess they're customized plates.
Yeah. I did because I'm using Roddy Piper as my driver from the They
I
Live
forgot
movie.
about that.
Yeah, from They Live, I went ahead and did They Live. And kind of cool, on my plate itself. So it's vanity plate saying They Live. But what's kind of cool is you could even change the tags. So I went and looked it up and found out when the movie was released, which was like November 8th in 1988, and that's what I used for my tags. I had November 8th.
That style of tag.
1988 tag on the other side, like your driver's license tag.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so it kind of fits. It's kind of neat. Little scale detail.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, it's pretty much done except for adding a few scale things here and there. I've got to put some winch line in. I ended up throwing my IS 800 winch servo in the back. It's got a 3-part servo plate in back behind the front seats. I was trying to install the winch up front. It just wasn't going to work. Even a mini servo winch wasn't going to work up front. So I just moved it to the back, and then, it helped strengthen that plate up. But I got one line coming because the winch line you get with it is like 3 foot, maybe 4 foot. And about a foot of it's going to be 8 up, just traveling through the tube from the back of the buggy to the front. So I bought some good high test fishing line. That's a woven, nice rope woven type high test fishing line. It's actually enormous, so I'm going to wind up about 6 foot of it on there. So I got 5, maybe 6 foot of actual line I could use.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, pretty much all I got.
6 feet.
A couple pieces. I got these little, fake NOS. Let me see here. I'll put them up here. These fake NOS bottles. So I'm going to set these up a little bit, put those in there, add some, nitrous.
Oh, cool.
Get those in there. Put a fire hydrant in there. I got a sway bar I may try to install, but I'm not sure if it's going to work because I moved my servo plate back a little bit and it may block the hole now. So a little bit of tweaky stuff. Basically, right now, it's just a matter of adding a couple scale details. Hey, Wolf Tracks. And then the last thing I'd probably want to do is do a little tweaking on my shifter. I set it up so I have the moving shifter. I'm going to put a fulcrum point in there so it gets a little bit more of the forward backward movement on the shifter and looks a little bit more scale. Right now, it just kind of flops around. But other than that, those are the last things I'm going to do to that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to check my cats to see if I can make it bigger here. Oh, whatever. Oh, Wolf Tracks. So, where's that show? Why can't my damn... I can click it. Wolf Tracks is text. I like threaded lines. I'm trying to click these things. Man. To press show. Do you know how you can look on their comments and show them? How come that doesn't show?
It should. I'm hovering over it and it shows show to me. So, yeah.
I don't know.
See, I can show.
I may just disconnected from the internet.
Yeah, you may not be seeing everything. I'm not sure exactly what you're seeing on your pad there. But you could also
much right now.
You could also do all of them over here, like I had there at the top. It's all above just above the chat area. There's that little show comments. You can do the drop down there, and then small, medium, large, wide, tall. Make those changes. It's just underneath the edit buttons there.
I gotta get my desk.
What's up, Bourbon?
Out in the
How you doing?
Not seeing. I see you over there flapping, but yeah, it's not. I think that my stream's kind of crapping out over here.
You're looking a little choppy a little bit. Vocal, sound is good, but the video is getting a little, scattered, blurry, but not bad. But it's not stopping or choking out any.
Okay. Turn this off. Yeah. Get the volume through there. It's playing through that. I wonder why. Yeah, JB, I'm always grainy. I gotta get rid of this.
So yeah,
All right.
while you're kind of figure it out.
Why is that? No, I've still got volume coming out of here.
Oh, out of
Which is
your
crazy,
little
is
pad.
I've got it turned all the way down. Yeah. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I know.
The pic of my Trump supermoto getting a stoppie out of it.
Oh.
Actually, it wasn't a stoppie. Actually, that's a stop picture that was taken out of a video where I was doing a front end rollover. I just stole. Hey, look, I got a stoppie. I have got a couple, but none that good.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty much the best way to get pictures with RC cars. I feel like is just doing video and then getting images out of it.
I mean, yeah, it's a little more haphazard using a camera, but if you get the camera shot, man, it's so much better because of the detail that the still pic takes over the video. You know, stealing one out of the video, you get such a crisp, clean look, especially if you got, you know, a nice 1080 or 4K camera. It's going to be really hard to, you know, argue with the clearness and crispness of that camera shot compared to one stolen off a video. You can clean them up a little bit, but it just won't be the same.
Yeah, I agree. I think just the ease of with a video, you're catching everything, so it's
A lot more option of finding a good shot. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that this I don't have any diff troubles with this thing. I rebuilt all three of them because there was a little clicking coming out of one of them, but I couldn't tell which one. It only did it once in a while, accelerating on the track. I think it was the rear one because it looked like there was some wear on it. A little bit. I just shimmed it as tight as I could. And actually what I did was stock the Truggy from Techno. They say to put 20,000 in the front and in the center and 10,000 in the rear. Which it works fine, but since I was thinking about using a tire less racy style and more like this, these are a little heavier.
Right.
This is what I had on there, but I'm thinking I'm going to just run it with this sometimes as well and kind of have fun with it as a basher. But so I put a thicker, I went 30,000, 30,000, 20,000, and we'll see how that makes much of a difference. Wolf Tracks. What is going on? If you got a chance this weekend and you want to come ride, Paris MX is open Friday and Saturday mornings, and I'm going to try to go and do that. So I know Wolf Tracks likes to ride. He lives out here in the same area I do.
Yeah, no Wolf Tracks. It's just plain old Maxwell House.
Maxwell House.
Maxwell House. Good to the last drop in the cock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He asked if it was mushroom coffee.
Oh, gotcha.
Probably, I drink the mushroom coffee long before I think I drink the monkey ass coffee.
So yeah,
I was gonna say there's a coffee out there that's super expensive, and essentially it's monkeys eating coffee beans and then crapping them out, and that's what they.
Oh, I think I've heard this before. Yeah.
It's real. I can't believe it, but it's real. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like coffee that much. So I'm
Oh,
not
I
even
love coffee,
worried
but
about
not that
trying
much.
that. Yeah.
Not that much.
So Wolf Tracks went to Akatia Wells this weekend. Said it was muddy. Yeah, we had a lot of rain last week. A lot of rain, like in the month of November, we've had a decent amount of rain here. So Wolf Tracks, yeah, dude, if you want, that'd be awesome. The track opens at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be camping, I think, out at the campground in Paris. But if you want to come out there, I'm gonna be Friday for sure, and probably Saturday morning as well. If you want to ride some motocross, that'd be cool if he comes out there. So I'm hoping to get this. I'm so bad at procrastinating on getting these freaking jobs done. I could have had
I
this
do the
done.
same thing.
Yeah, should have had it done already. Oh, and I did put a new rear differential case for the housing on this. Hold on, I put a new one on. I don't remember which one I did. One of them seemed a little worn. The front one.
Yeah, you can get there, especially with a lot of use.
Yeah. Oh, and I did put new bearings on the out drives of all of the differentials as well. So here's one. Here's the front. I've got to still get some grease in there, and I can put that on. Backs coming together. Oh yeah, I remember what was going on. I think I ripped some of the, like, the 4 screws that hold the diffs in. I think I ripped some of them out of the front, like they ripped the threads out. And so
It's a rough one.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those big gears tend to help that along occasionally.
Yeah. Oh, so supposed to have done this big air festival, jumping at the beach, etc., a couple weeks ago, but we got rain, and they also never built the big sand dune up. So I went and drove by there today. The sand dune is now up. It's a huge jump, hundreds of feet long, and it looks like it's about 30 feet right now. Really nice steep lip to it.
Nice.
I think tomorrow I'm going to try to go out there. Yeah, if I get a chance, I'm going to just get on my e-bike or something and ride out there tomorrow and hit it up, because my friends are going to go Friday, but I'll be out of town Friday, so I won't be able to do it. All right. I love using more grease than necessary. What's your opinion on that? As far as the grease, I know some people just like to put just a little bit on, and I also have this grease actually right here, which would be the wise thing to do. This is some ProTech RC. Tonight's show brought to you by ProTech.
For me, greasing, because I'm mostly a basher, it's kind of ad liberally. But the few times I was out racing, I did keep in mind that too much grease will add a lot of resistance and slow things down, cutting top speed, possibly cutting power. So if
Yeah.
I was ever racing, like when I was racing my Baja, HPI Bajas back in the day, I would grease things pretty lightly as far as grease on gears and stuff that needed it, just to make sure it wasn't too much, taking away too much out of it. But when I'm bashing, especially because I like water, I grease the piss out of shit.
That's what I'm going to be doing with this one. Like crazy. That's what I did on the rear. The differentials, they're sealed pretty well.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this thing is going to be abused pretty badly. And like I said, I want it to, so I'm using this motorcycle Bel-Ray waterproof grease. It's
Good
thicker than
grease,
it needs
yeah.
to be for sure, but I like it. And
Yeah, red and tacky's been my go-to grease.
Yeah, if I'm doing something like a indoor 10 scale or something, I'll definitely do a lot. I'll probably just do a thin line of that around the outer gear here, and the input. But now that's perfect. I had to work. I was working in the garage last night on my Techno buggy. Both of these cars went to the track with me last time I went, and I broke the servo on the buggy, so I just put a cheap servo that I happen to have laying around in it last night. But I give it some gas, give some throttle, wheels would spin, and I let off, and it would like come to almost a complete stop very quickly. I was like, what the hell? I noticed there was resistance. I pulled the motor and it wouldn't spin very well at all. So my buggy motor I had to take apart and cleaned out. And hopefully that'll last for a while. It's a hobby wing. I'm sure I could get bearings for it. But it's hard to man, out here where I drive, it's just dust. It's dust. It's hard packed dirt that is not hardly ever watered, and it's dusty. Like you crack open a motor case, even a sealed motor, and there's all kinds of friggin' silty looking sand, dust, and stuff inside of it.
Kind of the same out here in Michigan. We got a lot of clay, but there's a lot of sand, and it's really baby fine sand, real fine sand, and things get dusty a lot.
Yeah.
Number one killer of things next to mud.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have the mud issue much around here. I definitely got the dust issue, and it gets into everything. As much as I try to, like right here, here's the motor, ESC for this car. And you see how much all the dirt stains are? All this is just from that one time driving, because it was perfect. I had it apart and installed like it was brand new clean. Yeah, dude, I guess there's constant maintenance with these damn things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing. There's always maintenance to be done with an RC car. And when you got 10 or 20 of them, it's a full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking around earlier today and I was like, I don't know. I've got so many cool little projects that I'm in the middle of that it's almost overwhelming at times.
That's why I try to stick to one project, one big project at a time, so I don't get kind of overwhelmed and burn out. I got counted out yesterday. I think I got 19 RCs and probably enough stuff to build at least one more unit. That's pretty much I would be able to build it and get it running. It would be a crawler, all the stuff to do that, but I probably got enough stuff to start 4 other projects.
Yeah.
Axles or trannies or other pieces, parts, stock RTR, ESCs and motors, some stock servos. So I ended up calling, or not calling, but hitting up Losi today. I don't know if anybody in chat's aware, but I know JB's seen my post. Friday or Saturday, I was doing some scouring around and I seen somebody posted up something about Promoto firmware update. So I kind of started looking at it and read a few things and found an actual Spectrum website. So it was all a legit thing as far as the firmware goes. Went ahead, downloaded it, updated my Mako bike yesterday, 2 nights ago. And then I turned around and updated the Trump bike yesterday. But when I went out yesterday to try the Mako bike, I found out there was no actual modes anymore. So there was only one running mode. You didn't have dirt mode, street mode, or wheelie mode with this new firmware.
Well, that's kind of junky.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm not happy with
that. It did work. Yeah, it did work. I went out and ran it. It did seem to control a little better. The AV knobs, it seemed to have just a little bit more finesse in the mode it was in and driving. But it was pretty much straight out open mode. I guess kind of like dirt mode maybe, but maybe without all the AV6 on the wheelie stuff.
And there's no wheelie mode now.
With that new firmware, no. Well, I go out and start looking, and one of the other guys here in Michigan, another Tim Conrad, says, I don't think, he put up a post that's not for the Promoto, it's for the Arma rigs.
Okay.
Although when I did do the update, how in the Promoto ESC program, if you've been into it, you've got a basic page and then you got an advanced page. And on the Promoto, all the advanced page is wiped out. You can't even get into it. You can only do the first initial page of the basic settings, changing your forward only or motor rotation, brake force, those kind of drag brake, which you don't want any on the Promoto. So those are the options. It did allow you to change up to 7.4 volts, which I believe the Promoto software does anyways. Allows you to change to 7.4 volts in the ESC. So it did seem to improve control while you're on it, at least in the one mode. So I ended up, putting it on both bikes, and then I reverted the Trump bike back to the original, which all you got to do is just update the firmware, but go to the original firmware again. But today I went ahead and got a hold of Losi. I just hit them up on their chats, and the Richard over there at Losi customer service, confirmed there was no update on the firmware. So it looks like that firmware is for the Arma 85 amp ESC or the whatever Spectrum Firma 85 amp ESC is in a rig, but not the Promoto 85 amp ESC, which makes sense because it didn't have the 3 modes.
Yeah,
but it also didn't have the advanced options, so it's probably more your more simple ESC set up on your stuff where they they got a fixed motor and fixed timing, and they don't want you adjusting the timing and things like that. So if anybody out there did see my videos and updated, just go back to the original, go right back into your program box and go back and put the original, I think it's 1.8 version 1.8 software, or 1.3 might be even software back on there. It's the only one that should pop up next to the B2.01, I believe, is what the new one was that I thought was. So yeah, I don't know how somebody out there, it was European, British, that seemed to have that information going around, unless somebody just tried it and seen that this, firmware worked and did allow them to have a little bit better control, and they put it out there as a promote firmware upgrade, but not necessarily a registered trademark from Spectrum upgrade for the ESC. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it did work, but yeah, it was a downside because you lost some stuff. So I'll probably just end up deleting my one video.
Have you switched yours back yet, or you just left it as it is for now?
I have left the Mako as it is for now. I'm probably going to swap back though, because that one, in the dirt mode is where I'm usually at, but I like having the wheelie mode on it too.
Dude, I love the wheelie mode. That's what I use mostly around the shop whenever I'm driving. Like at work, it's just in a parking lot. So number one mode is too much. Like I'll wheelie it up and it'll flip over on me. And then I don't like the number two mode.
Can be a little power. Dirt mode, it would be nice to see them do a firmware update, maybe more set up for racing spec. So it would give you a little bit of that limiting on the wheelie mode in dirt. So you couldn't just flip over that much. You could get it up, but it wouldn't just, because there's times I've hit it, man, and that thing just flips right over. I mean, it does a somersault damn near 180 or 360 degrees. It just got so much power when it actually bites and grabs. But yeah, it would be nice to see him do something like that, where you could finesse it a little bit more for, say, racing on dirt. The street mode works great when I was running, when I'm running the Trump bike. That's pretty much where I leave that one, or wheelie mode, because I usually run that one on road. It's set up for parking lot running or road running.
So on road, I liked it in wheelie mode. I like wheelie mode because unless if I'm trying to go fast, like hauling ass or something, then no, obviously. But yeah, I like wheelie mode for on road. It's just fun. Right.
Yeah, this junior college I would go run. It's over by where I was working at there. They had a pretty good sized lot. It's probably 225 foot wide by 300 some odd foot long. Got a couple islands in the middle, and it's always empty on the weekends. And so I would actually use the islands and run down and actually, formed out a track, go down, go around one island, come back, hit the middle island, turn, go all the way towards the front of the lot, past a couple islands, go around another one, then make another turn and do a slalom spot, and then around the outside drive island back to the, down in front of me, which was like a 200-foot straightaway. It had a slight curve in it, about 125 foot. You had to kind of turn a little bit to come into the last 75 foot to get into the hard corner. So it was kind of nice because with the islands, it kind of laid the track out. You just had to kind of, vision it, make sure where you're at.
Yeah, I actually have something very similar just a block this way. It's where it's like a medical building, and on Saturday and Sundays it's closed.
Right.
It's a big parking lot with, I think, 3 or 4 dividing islands. And I can just do them like, even if you just use one island as an oval.
Right.
It's like you're probably going about 100 and something feet, then a big left or right, whatever one you want to go. And then one way is kind of uphill and one way is a little bit downhill. So you got to be careful on the downhills, because I've tapped the brake going into the downhill corner and the front just.
Oh yeah.
And then once you start sliding, it keeps going downhill. But it's so what I think is cool, every damn time I drive that thing, I still feel like I'm figuring out or learning something, because it does so different on different surfaces.
Yeah, that's
surfaces
true.
drive so differently.
And then with me, partially because I haven't been busy enough that I haven't driven a lot. A lot of times it's almost like I'll be starting again for the first, half a battery or so. You have to kind of relearn everything.
What is going on?
No, Simi Valley's a little too far for me, Wolf. That's a little bit of a run.
Simi Valley, no, I didn't make it. No.
So yeah, I was a little excited thinking that there was some, new Pro Moto firmware finally after a couple years, but no, they haven't changed a thing.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Now, I also asked them a couple quick questions. The Pro Spec aluminum wheels, they are going away. They are discontinued, but he assured me the bike is going nowhere.
Cool. Very good. Yeah. That's good. I think that they were just too expensive to begin with for most people. At the closeout price, it's awesome, but
Oh yeah, $15 a rim, and they had them for a while. When I first seen them on closeout, they're like $40 a piece. So even that, from 100 or 120 each to 40, that was a drop. The price was quite high on them. If they could have got them down to $150 for the pair, $140 for the pair, I think they would have sold like hotcakes. But 110, 115, 20 a wheel when they first come out, they were not for the faint of heart.
No, for sure.
Although I bought them. I got, the Pro lines. I've got the Vitavine spoked wheels, and then I got the Trio aluminum and carbon fiber wheels, but those are for the on-road. I've seen somebody on Facebook took one of the metal rims and mucked the curb real good. They put an actual real bend in the rim. They had a nice little divot going inward, just like a real one would.
Yeah.
He smoked that curb pretty good. It's surprised he bent the rim and didn't break anything else. Like the crash structure or nothing.
It was the metal. It was one of the new metal ones.
One of the metal rims on front. Yeah, his front rim. He smucked the curb and, divoted it just like a real bike rim would divot.
Yeah, I'm good with my cheap plastic ones for now. They'll work.
You get a little bit actually added gyroscopic effect with them, the metal rims, because they are just a little bit heavier. They're not that much heavier, but it does actually kind of plant it in the corners a little bit better because the wheels got a little bit more weight to carry through.
Yeah,
especially if you're in loose stuff. Especially if you're in loose stuff, it less likely to want to throw the bike around. It still does, but it's just a little less likely than it is with the plastic rims. Yeah, I got a techno buggy from a buddy I bought out. He was selling out his stuff, gave me a pretty decent price, so I got a couple things out of it and made my money back, so it was worth it. But he had an EB, I think it was an EB 410, one of the original versions.
Yeah.
Never did get it out and run it. I ended up selling it before too long. I got it and probably 2 months later had it sold. Thought about keeping it and running it, but I've never been a buggy guy or a stadium truck. Never quite fit my fancy.
Trying to find some correct length Oh, it's not here. I guess this is whenever I had the, I was saying that a couple had gotten ripped out. That's the issue now. I don't have them. They're much longer than that. I don't know what's going on though.
But yeah, I've been getting my new radio kind of set up a little bit, starting to get familiar with it. Excuse me.
I might have to
Nice
cut one of these
radio.
down. Which radio was that again that you got?
The Radio Link RC RC8X. It is.
Oh wow.
It's like $240, I think, for the radio. $240 each, you know, give or take what seller and if there's a sale on it or not.
Yeah. And
But
this
yeah,
is going to
they're
be
nice.
primary or for just crawling or what?
It'll be a primary. Mostly I got it, so I got quite a few different radios, but I got most of my stuff on my one Radio Link rig, especially my crawlers and stuff, and even a lot of my other stuff. I've taken out a lot of stuff that came with Spectrum. I took the Spectrum stuff out. I'm not a big Spectrum fan as far as radios. Had a lot of issues with runaways with the HPI Bajas back in the day, so I left a bad taste in my mouth with them.
Yeah.
But I grabbed it mostly so if somebody else wanted to run, I had two radios that I could easily bind to the receiver, and it wouldn't have to do nothing but just bind it. And it's a simple process. You turn it on, push the button on the RX, and leave it go, and a minute later it's bound up and ready to go. So it's an easy thing. So with the two radios, they'll both bind to all the receivers, so I can just grab whichever radio and whichever rig, and if it's not working, bind it, and have to set a channel up if I don't have it set up. But this way allows me and somebody else to run either the crawlers or some other stuff which are similar in nature, like my Bomber and the Rift, which are both kind of rock racers or something like that as well. So but it is a nice radio. I was looking at some of the other options. There's a few other ones out there if you didn't need to be quite so techie involved that are fairly new. One being the new Mias radio. They've got a 10-channel radio, and it's small. I mean, it's got pretty much no bass. It looks like you pretty much put 4 AA's in the handle.
Yeah.
The head part comes off, but it's a 10-channel radio. Digital has a screen on it, has full adjustability. And then they've also got a receiver that has 8-channel or 10 channels of light setup on it that works with the radio. So if you got like one of these RC haulers, the Tamiya big rigs, or something along that lines where you've got a lot of accessories and lights, you can set that whole thing up, and that's kind of cool. And that thing was only $45 for the radio and $15 for the receiver with the 10-channel light setup on it. The other receivers are like $10, $8, $12, and they got a couple different radios, a 10-channel, then an 8-channel. They're nice, you can one hand drive them because, small and compact. So, even somebody with shorter thumbs will be able to reach the steering wheel pretty easy. And Then
Those are
Dumbo
really
RC.
inexpensively priced radios
Yeah,
for
65
what you
bucks for a
get. It's
radio and
funny how,
receiver.
yeah,
It is.
it's funny how prices on certain things, if on electronics, have really seem to have
Yeah.
gotten better on stuff like that.
Well, it
Because
depends though. I mean, because you got Fly Sky. Okay, so Fly Sky's got their GT5 radio, which is a fairly popular radio in the crawler world, and other parts, decent aftermarket radios are like $70, $75.
that's the
But
one
then
that
you
I
got
just picked up.
okay, then you got the Fly
Yeah.
Sky Noble, and they've got a couple different versions of the Noble, and you can go anywhere from $250 to $550 on the Noble.
Yeah.
The Noble
Those are
4
nice.
radio.
Those are
So
nice.
there's a lot of variety. Yeah.
But I'm not
Then
paying
they've
that
got,
kind of money right now.
yeah, right. Then
I
they
don't
got the
want-
Fly Sky GT11, 11 channel radio they just introduced a few months ago. Again, more crawler orientated because of all the extra channels on it. You wouldn't think so, but when you start adding lights and winch and dig and 2 speeds and overdrive and lockable diffs, you need all those channels. But that radio is like $225 compared to the Spectrum, the new Spectrum IBX10, whatever it is. That's a $600 radio. The Futaba, XP10, there's a $700, $800 radio. So when you compare it, yeah, $200 ain't that bad. Or
No, not at
in
all.
case of the Mia 65, and that seems like a pretty capable radio. I guess the one probably downside on that is maybe the range. If you're a speed runner, that range may not be so good with the Mias. So, but for $65, if you can get 50 feet away from it, it's going to handle most people's RCs.
Yeah.
Especially in the crawler world. So,
yeah, in the crawler world, things happen a little slower and they're a lot closer.
yes.
If you're speed running stuff, I'm not going to necessarily recommend a $50 or $65 radio if you're spending the money to make your hook and cargo real fast to begin with, because
right,
you can lose it in a second. It's all done.
But that could happen with the expensive radios. With that being said, there's a lot of these guys running their speed rigs. Their high speed, long distance rigs are using the Radio Link radio, because they'll go.
Oh
yeah, they'll go about 1,800 to 2,200 feet before they lose contact, and it's even at 18, 17, 1,600, 1,500 feet. 1,500 feet. That's 5 football fields.
Yeah.
At that distance, there's almost zero latency.
Far.
Yeah, almost zero latency. So even it's only an $85 radio, $80 radio, but it works really well.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, truthfully. It really is. Imagine.
Yeah, $85 and 1,800 feet.
Where we came from not that long ago, Magnum Juniors with crystals.
Yeah.
75 megahertz, surface use only.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And they would run off of a whole bunch of batteries. Generally like 8 batteries.
About 3 hours of radio time off a pack of, 8 or 12 batteries, depending on what your controller it was. 8 up double A's like no other.
Yeah. No, that was. And what sucked was if you forgot, you just left it plugged in or turned on. There's usually a little dial, so you could at least physically see. There wasn't like a light on some of mine. There was just.
Yeah.
That dial was cool. Yeah, here's some meter on one.
The old battery meter.
Yeah. This is a really nice one, actually. Oh, fuck.
Left the batteries in it.
And I left it on.
On with the batteries in it.
Oh, my God.
There, you got lucky.
This shit's got to end. This shit has got to end, man. This is a really nice radio, though. I wonder which one this is hooked up to.
I was a JR guy back in the day. It was my kind of go-to radio. And then Nomadio, when Nomadio dropped the React, I didn't get the sensor. At 500-mile radio was too much back in that time, but I dropped the $300 on the React.
Oh, I don't know what I had back then. I think they were stuff like this. It's been a while. I think all of this stuff that I got now is stuff that I've gotten with more recent, like getting vintage shit from people,
Right.
and they're hooked up to one of the older cars or whatever.
Yeah, something's been in somebody's garage or closet for about 2 decades.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I got to remind myself to go to, I think it was Tower Hobbies. I don't remember exactly. It only take me a minute to find it, but the tray for one of these things is missing, and I found out they actually still sell them.
Wow.
So that was nice because it was all like rotted out and it's broken up.
Right.
I'm sure these batteries are shot now.
Recharge them. They'll go be fine.
Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do.
I remember people doing that, recharging those throwaway alkalines.
I've heard of it. I ain't ever done it.
Nope, me either. Me either.
All right. Closing in on the end on this little project.
Right on.
So I hadn't been to a RC track in a long time. Before a couple weeks ago, I'm glad to go back. It was a lot of fun. It's my first time at that track, and a really good track too. But one thing that was frustrating, it was not even that frustrating, but the whole time I was there, they had no lap counter on, which probably made me drive better and easier because I wasn't concerned with time at all. But I have a transponder on here, which I had just bought like a couple days prior. So I had a brand new transponder and I never got a lap time. As soon as I'm done with as soon as I'm packed up, boom, somebody goes and turns on the machine that reads the transponders.
Right.
So I guess I could have done that. I didn't even know though. My first time there. Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm not got much. Just
no worries.
trying to get shit done. Let's see. Oh, I don't know how long it's been apart. I don't feel like it's been apart that long, but I kind of feel like I'm missing screws for it now. So yeah, I need another one of those. So let me work on that.
Been a day. It's been a day.
Yeah, did you get anything worthwhile accomplished today, or
Not too much.
tried,
Yeah, I mean, a little
or
bit of
just
stuff.
chilling, or yeah?
I got outside, got some work done outside. I put a little canopy up over top of the duck pool. Of course,
Yeah.
it's getting windy out, and it blew up some of the tarp off it. So I had to kind of reset that, repositioned, and cut off one of the legs and made it shorter because it was hanging out too far, and just kind of adjusted it a little bit. I still got to do a little bit of stuff, get another couple pieces of tarp I got laying around, dig them out and lay them out, and get the rest of it colored over, and then throw some more blocks, cinder blocks on it, hang and weight it down so it'll handle the wind. Winter can get brutal, and the wind comes out of the west, which is a kind of a good field off to my side, so I get a lot of wind caught up in my place.
So is this tarp covering the pond, or it's the bottom of the pond?
Tarp covering, I put it like a little A-frame, 4-corner A-frame structure up over top of it. That way the ducks can use it. I got a pump in there circulating the water. I'll probably put an air stone or another pump in there to help circulate and agitate the water so it doesn't freeze. But that way the ducks can get in and go swimming through the winter.
That's cool.
Because they love it. They don't care about the water temperature. If it ain't frozen, they'll get into it.
Are these ducks that could get in, fly away if they wanted to? Or are they just ducks that stick around?
Some of the ducks could, but they've never really tried to fly much than off my deck down to the ground level, which is like 3-4 foot.
Yeah.
So I don't clip their wings. So my Welsh ducks, if they wanted to fly, they could probably fly. And I don't know if they'd be able to fly far or for long because they've never done it. But I think if they wanted to, they probably could. Then my other ducks are a little bit too big. Pekings, they don't fly. When Pekings fly, they're more like running.
Yeah.
But they move when a Peking gets flapping its wing moving across the ground, man. They'll move 20 miles an hour, no problem. But they're too big. They get too heavy. Well, poo.
And I have so many stupid misspelled models on this thing that I don't
Sometimes it's
even
hard
have
to,
all of them.
Sometimes it's hard to get them right. You get so many characters.
Yeah, I probably need to just go and delete that most of the stuff on there and reset them. That's an old radio. I don't know how much longer I'll be using it. That was too tight.
Oh. So yeah, I didn't do too much today. Like I say, pissed around a little bit. Basically installed one of the license plates on the back of the Origin and called it the RC Done Day. Got on the phone with Losi, verified the firmware stuff. And as I got outside, took care of a bit of stuff outside while it was kind of decent. About 53 today, the last nice day of the year. Like I said, tomorrow they're saying, mid 40s, maybe high 40s, and then 30s and 20s after that. So my outside stuff is pretty much done as much as I, can make it done.
Yeah. Once winter, I guess, hits around there, it stays winter for them. Or do you sometimes have mild winters and they're not that bad?
Oh yeah, we have mild winters. There's years when it's low 30s and 20s, but the sun's out often. It's not terrible. Cold, but not too bad. Some wind here and there, but then there's winters, where it's blistery and windy, and like in the 80s we didn't have snow, we had mud and ice because it was either over 35, therefore raining instead of snowing, and then it would drop down to like teens, and then the mud would freeze in place. So we didn't have winter, we just had mud and ice season.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, 3 to 5 foot of snow on average was common. We're kind of getting back up there. Not quite that good. 1 to 2 foot's pretty common. I'd rather see the 3 to 5. But I love winter. At this point, snow is a great insulator. So you get a foot or so of snow on the house, and it helps keep the heat in. So you're not losing as much heat, and it actually kind of insulates you a little bit better. Definitely go through more fuel the years when there's no to little snow out, because it piles up around the house, which helps keep the foundation secured and insulated. And
Well, remember how I packed a lot of grease in these things?
right.
And what else did I do? Oh, I put thicker differential fluid in everything.
Too much.
Maybe.
Yes, that's the one thing. I mean, the grease will fling off to a point, so that if that's kicking off, it's most of it.
Nothing's bound up.
Pretty good. It don't really fly off too much, but
it's not smooth at all.
Did sound a little clunky there for a minute.
Man. Maybe I just need to get another spur gear because this thing is pretty chunked out, worn.
Yeah, if it's getting worn, it could, especially with the metal spur gear, get noisy and a little clicky, and
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on the condition of the teeth. And
Wish I had better light here. Doing stuff like the setting gear mesh is a real pain in the ass when it's kind of dark.
right, I picked up a couple lights off of eBay, small LED little table stand lights. They got a little stand with them. They'll get about 4.5, 5 foot tall. So, that you can put the stand on the floor, a little tripod stand. They're only like $30 a piece. USB, powered. So come with an on off button with a lighter or a dimmer. So, but yeah, because that adds not a lot light so you can see. And then when you're doing video, it adds, good light so you can show on camera a little bit better.
Well, I mean, nothing's really wrong. It's just it doesn't roll nearly as freely as it used to.
Right.
I'm going to stick some tires on it and drive it around some and see how it does. Oh, man. I went to Vegas this weekend. I've been doing something for most of the weeks. Almost every weekend I got something going on for my birthday month. And
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude! It's been my birthday month, and I never flipped the calendar.
Yeah, actually, I meant to say something about that on the last one, but yeah, we ended up ending real quick. Oh yeah, I should have said something.
Oh shoot!
End of the year.
Nah, it got a few slugs through it.
Oh.
They were behind the edge here.
Oh,
I didn't even
see.
see that.
Whoopsie.
1, 2, 3. Oh, that's disappointing. So Camille Kostek got way longer than she was supposed to up here. Should be Brooks Nader. And she'll only be up there for a few more days. It was my birthday there. I've been doing fun stuff pretty much every day or every weekend.
Right.
Went to Vegas. That was fun. I did not party too much. First night I did a little bit. Second night I didn't because I wanted to get out before traffic. I drove. I'm coming back from Vegas to Los Angeles can be shitty traffic on a Sunday if you wait too late. So I got up. I didn't party that night. Got up pretty early and got home. It was a perfect drive. It took like 4.5 hours, maybe. Didn't
Right
really
on.
see any traffic. It was smooth. But man, if I'm not partying, Vegas is not as fun.
Right.
I wasn't really partying that much. The last several times I went, I either had friends going with me or people there that I knew and or I was meeting there. But
Right.
that was not the case this time, so it's less, but I still had quite a bit of fun still. Let's see how this thing sounds.
Kind of hard to hear on this side, I think, with the gating going on. It's cutting, a good portion of its sound out.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this will work. It'll work. I can tell it's actually going to get quieter. This thing, it doesn't hit very hard when I pull the trigger. You have to hold on to it. It has more like top end than torque.
Right.
Makes it easier to drive for me. You notice it doesn't hit that quickly, but when it does, it'll end up spinning the tires and expanding them. It takes a while to get there. You have to be used to like driving with more throttle, I feel like, than I used to, but
Right.
I think this will be fun actually. This is gonna go good. Yeah. All right. Cool. So at least I can drive this weekend.
Right on.
Yeah, this is gonna be different. Gonna be kind of a basher setup now with the Techno Truggy.
Right.
I might even take this to the damn beach with me tomorrow because this is so small and lightweight. I want to take my e-bike down there and bring my good boy Spike, and he can go in the back of the dog trailer on the e-bike, and then I can stick this on top of that thing and maybe go and try to do some jumps on that sand dune.
Yeah, my RCing in the next couple months is going to be most likely indoors unless we got a decent day outdoors and I go do some crawling in the snow. I mean, if it ain't bad, I mean, I would say I've half tempted on spraying down my oval track, getting it all raked out, and then as it snows, spray it down and make it into an ice track and see if I can take an old set of MX tires here and put some tiny screws through them so the end of the screw sticks out the knobby. Do a little ice
that would be really fun. That would be an awesome, fun thing to try.
It would be. We used to knobby one of the companies, not Holmes, trying to think of what it was. Hostile Hobbies was making HPI Baja MX tires. They have nice big old knobbies on them. And the company that makes what's the real popular stud company? They're literally about 6 miles down the road. So we would go over there and just buy a bunch of their smallest studs and stud up our Baja tires and go ice racing. And that's what we do is run ice oval with Bajas.
I bet you with studs they would hook up pretty good, right?
Oh hell yeah! You yank wheelies coming out of corners, just like a dirt track.
That's unbelievable because I've never done it on motorcycles, but I've seen people on dirt bikes or motorcycles studded, and it's like the traction's everything you could ever want.
Yeah, because the studs are, I mean, they're basically a screw head, but it's got almost like sharpened edges at the edges, top edges of the screw, so it bites into the ice and shit. Yeah. The only thing you got to worry about there is throwing them.
You don't want to get ran over by them.
Yeah, or getting run over by them. But yeah, we'd put one line of studs down the front tires and then hit every stud on the back tires and go, racing on the ice.
Have you always been living out in the cold, like in that area?
Yeah.
Where you've had the winters?
Born in Michigan. Yeah, born in Michigan. Born and raised here. I was on snowmobiles before I was on snowmobiles before I could, do anything. My parents snowmobiled, and hell, I think I was 6, 7 months old and we were out snowmobiling already.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, so I grew up outside in the winter. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I used to like it. I don't know how I would deal with it now. Now I get older and feel. I used to always look forward to snow.
Mm-hmm.
Living on the East Coast and stuff, it was good, but.
Yeah, bumper riding back, or bumper skiing back in the day. You ever do that?
I don't think so, unless it was called something else. I guess I don't know what that is.
Well, there's two ways you do it. You could bumper tag, which you'd put on a slick pair of dress shoes. And then, as somebody was taking off at a stoplight, you'd slide out between a couple pair of cars, grab their bumper and just slide on your shoes and go skiing. But bumper skiing is where you'd actually take a skateboard, take the wheels and trucks off it, fill in your holes and polish up the bottom, strap a rope to a bumper and have your buddies go driving down the roads and stuff with you, skiing behind them.
Just had to watch never corners. Did.
You had to watch corners, man. That was the stupid, crazy shit we did back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. I didn't pull that one off. That could be I'm sure you could eat shit pretty easily.
Oh, easily. Yeah. It could be a problem, other cars and people lose control. You could get yourself fucked up real easy or dead, Yeah. If you're bumper tagging and somebody didn't see you and there's, come up to a stop and they slide right into the back of the car. If you ain't paying attention, you get pinched. But obviously you had to be smart about it.
Funny you say that because I actually saw a rear end accident today. Got out of my truck in front of the house or in front of the apartment and I didn't see the moment of impact. My back was turned. So I parked right in front of the apartments, started walking towards the door, and I hear a boom. Man, I've heard 3 or 4 crashes in the last year at this intersection by me.
Right.
And so I've gotten good at guessing, knowing exactly what it is, I can tell the difference between that and the sound of the Coca-Cola truck unloading across for CVS. That makes some loud clanging too on its like its door, its drop
right
delivery door. But yeah, man, boom! I was like, oh shit! And I turned around, and there was I don't know why she was going that fast, because there was like 750 cars stopped in 2 lanes of traffic. There's a red light. It's a whole block farther away. I don't know. This woman I bet she pulled off of the side road and was looking to her right as she pulled left and accelerated and got, she was watching for oncoming traffic and didn't realize the car over there had stopped. It just pow! Went in the back of it. But I think she was going, like, she smashed the shit out of her car. So it feels like she was going faster than she should have been. Yeah.
How you doing, Granny? Yeah, you're in Australia, I think, aren't you? I believe. Granny said she just got out and went to the beach and had a crawl on the rocks.
Who's that?
RC Granny.
My tablet went out, so I can't see anything anymore.
Did it die on you or just go dark where you got to reopen it?
No, it died.
Oh, boy.
But I might have... Man, I could have had it plugged in this whole time.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, couldn't, didn't, don't.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty fun with the thicker fluids in it. Yeah. All right.
Right on.
Promotos. So this one, I was going to go ahead and drive it. So I wanted to test it out. Compare it with some different tires on the other one. But all that rain, between all the rain and all the weekend excursions, it's just not happening right now.
Right.
How am I looking for? Oh, I could use a wing.
Now, is that a 12 scale or 14th scale rig, Randy? The Terranaut. Or is it actually 10th? Okay, 1/18th. See, I thought it was one of the smaller rigs, if I recalled right. I'm not real familiar with a lot of the Chinese offerings. See them out there, see people running them. Just haven't really looked into them too much. Some of the stuff I have. I mean, the construction equipment is damn cool. But at $2,000, $3,000 a piece is damn expensive too.
Yeah.
Well, that's for the hydraulic. You can get electric with actuators for maybe $600-700. I mean, but these things are huge. I mean, they're 35-pound dozers and 40-pound excavators and 80-pound dump trucks, all RC, all metal. And like I say, the nice ones are all hydraulic, full 360-degree spin turrets on them and shit. Yeah, you guys are getting into summer, so you're getting into the play season. While we're getting into winter where I'm at, where JV's just getting into the colder times for Cali. Yeah, those are for serious RC boys. I gotta admit though, it would be cool to have a fleet of dozers and dump trucks and actually build an RC track with them.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So 36C, that's about what, 80, 75, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. Yeah, you guys are getting into the nicer weather there. I know it can get pretty hot down there in the summers though too.
Where the heck did this thing go?
Okay, so yeah, a little bit warmer. Almost 100. That's getting a little warm, but I think that's a little more normal for you guys. Mid 90s or so seems to be pretty common in the summers there. I know you're a little closer to the equator than I am up here in Michigan, anyways. Man, I hate pensioners. Yeah, it's a little too warm for me. 97's plenty warm enough. Now it ain't. It's okay if the humidity's low. Once that humidity gets over 50%, though, it can get pretty muggy, at least around here. But we've had a few times when it's been 90 and like 30, 35, 40% humidity, and it's been nice. You know, slight breeze, feels cool when the wind's blowing. Step in the shade is not bad, but you're not getting mugged in the sun.
I've been able to restart this, but
Cute.
having that issue with the volume again.
Weird.
I think it's back to normal now. Where is the what was I doing? I need a body for this damn thing.
You too, Granny. Take care. Thanks for swinging in.
That's RC Granny.
Yeah.
I just see the tech. There's the chats now. Is that somebody that's do you know him from your channel?
A little bit, yeah. Catch
Said he's
RC
from
Granny.
Australia as well.
Yeah, catch RC Granny from a lot of the other lives, RC lives,
Oh, cool.
often in the chats.
Yeah. Cool. Seems like Australia's got a lot of stuff going on with RCs.
Yeah, this seems to be a good number of them. Oh, excuse me. Probably should get heading off myself. She's 3 a.m. ish here.
Yeah.
2:43, so grab myself something to snack on before I crash out for the night. Alarm's gonna go off in 4 hours. Still trying to get up, even though I've not been sleeping for crap. Still trying to get up at my normal time, though sometimes I hit that snooze button or inadvertently hit the off button, but I'm still getting up, you know, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm crawling out of bed, even if I was, you know, up till 5.
I've been the opposite. I'm totally going night mode. I can't. I actually don't. I think I'm not even going to be worth anything up until noon from now on. I'm just going to admit it. I'm going to start
Right.
working nights again or something like that because I don't have any energy. But like 3 o'clock in the afternoon hits, I start feeling more energy.
Right.
And then here I am. Everything I do is late night energy shit. I don't know why.
It's the way it's been
I
for
wish
me.
I
Like
could get it around.
this time of year for me, I get a little insomnia going on. The weather change. It's kind of messes with my system a little bit somehow, you know, and I don't sleep much for till a couple weeks to a month while the weather's getting cold. Once it's cold and steady, then I'll, you know, come back to normal, and that barometric pressure change just tears me up though.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I got my truck done pretty much. It's good. It'll be good enough to run for sure.
Right on.
And what else? I'm not working tomorrow. So I might just pop back into the garage if I have everything set up still.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll probably
be
try
cool
to
to do
jump on something tomorrow.
okay. Yeah, if you see me get in there, feel free to go on in and click yourself in there.
Right on, man.
I'll hopefully remember how to do this audio thing better so I don't have to keep figuring it out every time. All right, we'll see. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go ahead and end this bad boy.
Right on, man. You have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, chat, and we'll talk to everybody later.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Talk to you later.
All right, let's go. That was the highest jump of my life. Yes, got just out of the way. Oh my freaking God. There we go.